Hey, what's up, beautiful souls? Happy Thursday. I hope that your day is going really well, and I hope that your day has been filled with love and laughter. And I hope that you've been able to be present in your day and take charge of your day. And speaking of taking charge, today I wanted to talk about leadership. I had a wonderful opportunity present itself. A good buddy of mine, Steve, is working on putting together a program for people that are coming out of jail, coming out of rehab, coming out of addiction, to help reintegrate these souls that society has thrown away. And he's asked me to make a video on leadership, so I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a part of that. And I can't wait to see where this program takes him off to. So, as far as leadership goes, I've had some really beautiful opportunities in my life, and some really difficult opportunities in my life to be a leader. And it's come on many different platforms, if you will. I don't know, many different situations to lead, from the sports fields growing up to a combat area, being in the Marine Corps, to um, the police academy, to being a father, and most importantly, just being a leader in my own life, and finally taking charge of my own life after 30 plus years of just kind of going with the program and feeding my mind, body, and spirit full of just honestly just toxic masculinity and mainstream um, egoic qualities. I finally, a few years ago, decided that it was time to make a shift and change a good deal about myself. And not that I was a bad person. I just, I did the best I could, but I just had the wool pulled over my eyes. And so now, the most important leadership role that I have outside of being a father is just taking charge of my life. And so many people allow life to take charge of them. And I've got to do this, and I've got to do this, and I gotta. Guess what? You don't have to do shit. You make the choice to do stuff. So, taking charge of your life and being a leader, to me, is being able to be vulnerable and being able to be honest about your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities, because only when you're honest with yourself, and as I go forward, speaking of leadership, I'm going to speak solely on an individual level, taking charge of your own life, because I there are so many different layers to leadership. I think the most important one is starts with the person in the mirror. So, taking charge of your life, making decisions that feed your soul, that keep you driving forward in the manner that you choose to live, and not somebody else tells you should live. Well, society says success is making $100,000 a year, but I work 80 hours a week, and my family life is shit, and my kids don't even know me, and whatever the case may be. Taking charge of your life and not letting others dictate, such as society, because society is so driven on the ego right now. And that's where we're coming into a time where it's like, holy shit, the energy that's coming into our reality is really shaking people up through traumatic events and through just huge paradigm shifts in their thinking. And it's really a beautiful time to be alive, and it's a beautiful time to take charge of your life as a leader of your life. And another thing with leadership is, so often we want to contain our thoughts and our feelings, and we want to bottle them up and put them aside, and push through and push aside and bury and push aside and bury negative emotions, because we've been taught that, especially men, we've been taught that being weak and showing weakness is not how you succeed. It's not how you grow. It's not how you get what you want. It's shameful to show weakness from the earliest age where we fall down and get hurt, and there's men around. Oh, get up, wipe yourself off, and women are equally as guilty. But I speak from experience that I see with other men in society. Is a kid falls down and wants to cry. Oh, no, it's okay, it's okay. You're fine. Suck it up. You're fine. Rub some dirt on it. You're fine. Get up. Walk it off. Meanwhile, this kid is feeling these genuine emotions of pain and sadness because of the pain, and they want to cry, and we're telling them, no, don't cry. That's a weakness. What are we doing? We're confusing these kids, and from such an early age, we're committing these travesties against these young souls and confusing them and allowing our egos to create their reality before they can even really think for themselves. So it's so important as leaders of your own life and leaders that interact with children to allow proper emotion to flow. If you fucking, excuse my language, this subject really fires me up because I was the biggest violator of this. I lived from the toxic masculinity, the ego. I had mastered the ego through the military and through law enforcement, and just a fucking ego machine. So I've seen the damage that I've done to not my son, because my son just turned 3, and I've really made a huge transition to really become the best father, balanced father. I was being the best father to my daughter that is 13, but I was living from the ego and not the heart. So I saw the damage that the suppression of emotions, what that did to a young, moldable soul in this reality, and I've had to go through the damage that I've caused, and I've had to do a lot of repairing, and give myself a lot of grace and ask for a lot of grace from my daughter, and gratefully she's such a beautiful soul, and I'm so grateful for her, and I know it's all part of our journey, but it doesn't make the pain of past decisions and past things you said. Like, I remember one time it was a cheer competition, and she was upset and crying because she didn't do as good as she thought she did, as good as she thought she could. And so I was like, oh, stop crying. You're acting like a child. No shit. And even her grandfather at the time was with us, like, your 8-year-old's acting like a child? Hello. But I'm, being the egoic dad, I was like, use it as fuel. If you're upset, suck it up and use it as fuel and practice harder. Holy shit, dude. At the time I was oblivious, and I didn't miss a cheer competition. I didn't miss a doctor's appointment. I was the best father I could be, but now I know, as a leader from the heart, that when you lead from the heart, you can never go wrong. And when you start to let ego come into your leadership traits and start to squash vulnerabilities and not take in feedback from your team members and not allow people to have a voice within your team. Anytime you're making a choice that's going to affect other people, you should always get feedback from other people. And that's another lesson I really learned the hard way in the beginning of my relationship now with Brittany. Is I made all the decisions because, to me, I was more efficient. I was more, I don't even know. I was more ego driven, basically. And she was submissive to that. And so the damage that has to be repaired from the beginning of that relationship has been difficult too. And difficult on our relationship, difficult on me, embarrassing to me. And it's been a great lesson in humility and grace. So don't be scared as a leader to be vulnerable. And, I've really, coming from an egoic, outspoken position that I was in, I have decided that the best course of action for me to show my vulnerabilities and to show a heart-centered leader is to make these videos and talk about my downfalls and things that I have experienced and mistakes that I've made and mistakes that I still make to this day. Nobody is perfect, and it's so important to just be vulnerable as a leader, because that's the only way you can grow as a leader. If you are always using your knowledge, when are you ever learning? When are you ever listening? So listen to your team, listen to your higher self, listen to your intuition. As a leader, learn to shut the fuck up and listen. That is a huge one for me, because as you can see, 11 minutes into this video, I love to talk. And um, it's been a huge lesson. Huge lesson. So listen, be vulnerable, and lead from your heart. It's okay to have emotions. Men, it's okay to cry. It's okay to love. It is okay to love your friends. It's okay to hug your friends. It's okay to show the love in touching ways. I hug my friends every time I see them. We hug, embrace. How you doing, brother? I love you so much. I'm so glad to see you. I'm grateful you're my friend. I'm grateful that we have this beautiful time to spend together. What have you been up to? It doesn't have to be, oh, what the fuck's up, man? However the egoic, toxic masculine greets their friends, talking shit or like a teenage boy. You know what I'm talking about. So listen, be vulnerable, show emotion, and watch your world expand with so much love and so much opportunity and so much gratitude and abundance and just joy. It's really joyful to lead from your heart, and it's really peaceful and still to lead from your heart. So lead from your heart, and you'll never be steered in the wrong direction. I love you guys. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you guys very soon. Oh, and quick note, if you're catching this and you're saying, hey, I thought you were going to do your videos on Facebook Live from now on. I ran into a snag, and it's a bit of an excuse, and it's a bit of an escape route, because I still have that fear of doing live interactive videos. But my escape route is I can't put my live videos on my YouTube channel. And really, I am trying to put my focal energy into creating a YouTube channel and creating a platform to do these talks and to, broaden my horizons and expand myself, because the more people you are able to meet and interact with, the more you expand yourself, because we are all mirror images of each other and fractal pieces of the collective. So the more pieces that you can meet and put together in your being, the more whole you become, right? I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.